She's all yours, Captain.
Wow, how's everybody doing? This is Ethan Goldini now with a really fantastic microphone setup. Listen to my audio; it's so incredible. I don't know what to do with myself, really. Just, I guess, do audio. How's everybody doing tonight on this? The start of a very tense week, which shall be, for reasons that will remain nameless, I suppose, unless we want to be part of the historical record.
We can't talk if we're admiring how great your audio is, I just have to say.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, you have to
I've been driving all around Ulster County, stuffing some ballot boxes and setting other ones on fire.
Nice.
So that's been most of my weekend.
Oh, I've been reading about your work. Yeah, that's great. Good job. Knock, knock. Hello.
Are you the Hound of Culane?
This goes into a warp spasm with political rage.
Yeah. Me and the other three guys hanging out with Cornell West are really excited about tomorrow. But this is being recorded before the election and will most likely be heard by everyone after. So I don't know.
Boy, it's really, you got to hand it to fill in the blank.
But you're really down with the Cornell mentum. Yeah, he's...
Oh, yeah.
He's going to punch it.
Come from behind.
Yeah, it's the...
I'm sorry, I mean President West. That's what I... Because he will be now when you're listening to this.
Right. Shall we stream?
Let's stream, y'all. Hi, welcome to the Sometimes Stream Summer Campaign. Will Wonders Never Cease? Previously on the Sometimes Stream, Will Wonders Never Cease? Having thwarted the defenses of the grand castle of the Summer House on Summerside, the Summer Island in Seasons Keep, the world where magic is real and the dead don't always die. They were able to thwart the defenses of the castle, which, to be honest, wasn't terribly difficult considering everyone, guards and players and characters included, lost hours of their memory. And so DCI Beans, Fasole, Bessemer, and her suit managed to harrow the court and find an inner chamber in which was the defender of the realm, Gisbadaden Penkwar, the half-stone giant, who is also, as it turns out, an ex-journeyer, a type of teleporter, which is like giving dynamite to a mecha. After witnessing a bit of a fracas, everybody was able to come to a bit of a peacemaking and standstill, especially after Hirsute basically threw the equivalent of a barrel at the Donkey Kong that was the kind of inept summer guard. And all of you began to discuss the goings-ons of this strange occurrence, this memory loss. As it turns out, this memory loss was happening in Summerside, it seems, locally, but has started to leave questions about whether it's happening all across the seasonal isles of Seasons Keep at a level too subtle to be aware of. It's not hard to be aware of it happening in Summerside, however, because the sky has a giant claymation, essentially papier-mâché eye in the sky, day or night, which has recently started to appear whenever it opens its eye fully or blinks. It seems that memory losses appear across the island. The party itself of adventurers has also lost time and can no longer remember how they were able to get to Summerside or why in the first place. However, Gisbadaden, who is a very powerful and influential individual, seems to be glad that you are available to perhaps pursue why these things are happening. DCI Beans, in an attempt to start detecting using all of his investigatory powers as a naturalist, when Gisbadaden was out of the room of his great antechamber, started to reverse engineer the scene using the power of magical deduction, and determined that an increasingly hazardous series of events has been happening, causing Gisbadaden to lose more and more sleep, go on more and more adventures, and stop more and more problems at an accelerated rate. Meanwhile, it seems that all around him, the court of summer is watching him with wary and suspicious eyes. Enigmatic expressions. There seem to be some sort of clandestine goings-ons in the court. Spending some time talking with the giant librarian in the court, they were able to enchant a full celestial tattoo across Bessemer's body, creating an essentially both lodestone and map pinpointing a location that the librarian helped them deduce would be the best place to track down what is causing this giant eye in the sky. To the southeast, in the half-floating island of Summerside, is abandoned city number 25, right near the marine regency of Mandibel Grot, the only place with the perfect cross-section of mysterious places to have a hideout and the large amount of art supplies and art students necessary to construct such a ridiculous piece of powerful magic. They immediately took their talking car Christine on the road. Unfortunately, shortly into the journey, a small green cube, which her suit had discovered, which seems to be a castle indicator of when such memory blips are about to happen, started winking green. At the very last moment, Bessemer hastily crafted a memory spell, creating essentially a memory dump of all of their memories up until that point for a very small amount of time, and dumped them in her voluminous witch's bag. Sure enough, time skipped, and our adventurers find themselves on a field surrounded by soldiers, two sides of a battlefield. Green scale mail, muskets, and shields all around. As on two sides, you find yourself with your pink card, Christine. You are surrounded, and tensions are high. And now we begin.
Are we still in the car, or is the car a distance from us?
You are standing right by the car. You are not in it. The clanging of swords against shields, the clicking of muskets, the loading of powder. You hear from one side the sound of a man saying, this won't stand. This won't stand at all. Whoa, this is unusual. This. And there's sort of trails off as all of the people around him start murmuring, rubble, 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 peas and carrots, mumble, mumble, mumble.
Does anyone know what happened 60 seconds ago?
Anyone?
We're in a battle.
Do we know the sides? Do our characters know from the livery?
From the livery,
soldiers?
you cannot tell specifically who. From the livery, the green scam mail specifically, you can definitely tell without any guesses. This is not any sort of invading force. These are all homegrown summer forces. As to anything beyond the fact that they are clearly from one of the many squabbling and skirmishing petty kingdoms of summer, guess is as good as any.
Well, I'm waiting to see what they say to Fesseli and Bessemer. Yeah.
Yeah, like are there two sides, or just one? Are we the other side? What's
You
happening?
are in the middle of two sides who, up until I guess a few seconds ago, were squaring away to fight. Why you're in the middle of it with your car is unknown, but you seem to be wedged between these two battalions, each one about 20 yards away from you.
Okay, hold on. Question. Is the point for you guys to fight, or are you fighting about something that you wish you could solve without fighting?
A man in the scale mailiest to the scale mail, which would appear to be epaulets of some kind, saunters forward with a scabbard and a holster and a shield. He's still far away from you, but calls back. The looks you up and down and says, don't listen to this autumn witch. Stand firm, stand stalwart. We're here. Clearly we are here to fight, and everyone please stay at attention. I shall deal with this. Don't put down your muskets for a moment. We've dealt with these blips before, and we'll deal with them again. And he starts.
Okay, already it sounds like this is a non-consensual fight. What in the hickety heck is going on here? And bold of you to assume where I'm from, though you are right. But like, what does that even mean? I don't understand. You say things about who you think I am as if that means something.
In the time that you've said that,
Yep.
he's been able to make some ground. His green, almost anodized looking boots squish into the wet and tall grass as he has walked over.
I'm
Is he
running
the
back to
only
the
man
car.
who's currently approaching either side?
First, Hirsute, what did you say?
I'm running back to the car.
Great. Fasoli, what did you say?
Is he the only man approaching either side?
No, there is one other person approaching with them. A person in what looks to be a leather hide armor made out of ferocious monstrosity teeth. Or, could be something else. But it seems to be almost like their own armor is devouring themselves. Which is that intimidating? It certainly looks cool.
Fasole speed walks in to whatever place they're walking to in order
Okay.
to take the hit.
All right. They stop short. They say, "Oh, whoa there, Winter Knight. You're interfering with official business. Please vacate this skirmish field. Henceforth, post width. I don't talking.
You're pretending that you know what's going on, and I believe we all just lost an indeterminate amount of time. So it's possible that we're all friends here.
What's very clear is that we are all squared away for a battle, and you interlopers, clearly, from the other seasons. I follow current fashion, mind you. I can tell. Don't pretend otherwise. Look at that armor of yours. Look, so red, like that red steel can only be made in one small region. I know the care and attention you went to craft it. Don't think that I don't notice that. But you're obviously here, and you're interfering with what is summer business. So regardless of what is happening, this is between summer and summer.
I think you're just making it up.
This person, who is a human folk, by the way, is getting a little bit red faced, clearly sphincterous and a bit mad. What's happening?
I would like to impose law things on this social situation by claiming that we are time cops and we know what's going on, and they obviously don't, and they probably weren't even fighting each other. We see this all the time with time cops. People get confused, and they really were going to have a hugging contest or bread baking contest, some other
eating pie.
Definitely,
exactly.
yeah. Roll a will for that one. See if your words land. Maybe flash a badge.
Yeah, no, I definitely flash my homemade badge. Any chance I could roll charm, which was my goal?
Yeah.
You made it at home? Don't you have one?
You can.
I had one
now.
Well, no, I had one that was human sized, but I don't know that it made it into the sack with my gun and cheese. I
keep
lost
the
it in
gun,
the
but not the badge.
No, I lost it in the woods. I don't tell people that. This is out of character.
Okay.
Let's keep this moving along.
I got a 3, Ethan.
Yeah. You're in luck. This charmless fellow rolled a natural 1. And is sort of blustering and taking aback. And he says, it's like, well, I suppose if the Department of Perplexities is involved, if you're any sort of temporal constable, that's honestly, it's quite a relief. But you're
Detective Chief Inspector, not a mere constable. Officer.
Sorry, Chief. He's like, I'm going to, from your tone, I think I understand. He's like, he is sort of grumbling out. It's like the Department of Perplexities, the Oboli, and a few other organizations. They're some of the few people who are like allowed to have jurisdiction in situations of temporal befuddlement. And so yeah, this person who is a higher ranking than everyone else is sort of grudgingly say like, all right, you have a few minutes. You have a few minutes, and then we resume.
Okay, a few minutes is all we need to do time cop things. Okay, team, what are we doing? What do we actually want to do here?
I'm at the car. I'm driving the car up.
Are you're you're
to us or away?
To y'all.
Oh,
so,
okay.
All right. So now you're all, the car is now very coolly parked behind you. There's 1 battalion behind and 1 battalion to the front.
Well, technically, I'm not getting out. I'm not.
You're idling, I guess.
I'm in the car. Yeah, like I'm in it. And I wanna
ready to go.
I just want to say, hey, which way to the university?
He looks perplexed, and he turns to he turns to the other person there. He says, Fiamma, where's the nearest
The art
where's-
school.
Oh, an art school? There's only one art school. Sure. If you're looking for an art school, I suppose it's 5 miles down the road that way. You're getting into real hazardous terrain by the southeast. So just be aware that after mile 4, the road sort of gives out, and you'll just have to drive.
That's Abandoned City 25, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you. All right.
You're welcome. So anyway, back to the matter. Turns to the other person and says, all right, Fiamma, go get Izem and Agodo. Tell them to get just keep prepping those muskets. Let's not resort to spellcraft until we get to such a point. And he calls out past you all. Does that seem acceptable? There's sort of a murmur from the other battalion. You hear like a clang, clang, clang. Peas and carrots grumble, grumble, grumble. It's like more clang, clanging sounds, the sounds of scabbards and sheaths and stomping of feet. And says, I suppose we'll have to take that as a yes.
I think we're gone, right?
Are you driving away?
Fasole waits for the 2 people who squared up against him to sort of back off until he gets in the car. But yes,
great, great, just absolutely peeling out. Yeah. So now you are breaknecking it on the way. Past some very confused battalions of summer soldiers who seemed absolutely hell bent on fighting, memory or no. As you are driving down the road with a bag full of memories towards an abandoned city and an art school, your sort of standard evening activity. As you're driving along, you see in front of you, there seems to be another battalion of soldiers. That is, they're not blocking the road, but they seem to be moving in a very haphazard, not lockstep sort of formation. All green boots, all muskets, all spears and shields and things, traversing the side of the road with a lot of little clanks and grunts and other such sounds. You are about halfway to the abandoned city. Make small talk in the car for just one moment.
Well, with the ridiculous thing about the time cop proposal is that no one understands how time works, so there cannot be an order to something no one understands. And we understand intuitively, of course, but
and yet everybody understands intrinsically what a time cop is.
That's why it's such a good con. Yeah.
It's like such a good con. This is why it works.
Every time.
It could only work in a situation like this where, you lose time.
Oh, you would think, but the free
time is never really lost.
Right.
There's dimensions and stuff. It's a whole thing. We have math.
I suppose if I lost time from being, let's say, inebriated, it would work on me.
Yeah, or you just lie to get like free trousers. I'm not recommending this as an officer of the court and the departments of perplexities and whatnot, but no, it really works. Just pretend to be like a time traveling cop. People will pretty much bend over backwards. It's very weird. At least get like a foamed drink.
You do have to really commit to it though. It's like if you go 100, they'll go 200, but if you go 50, they'll go 10.
Right.
Now, do you need a costume for that kind of thing? Do you need, let's say, a jean jacket and a sword and purple hair? I can't use swords.
I only now require a hat, but
it's really whatever feels good for you, But what it's more about is taking whatever you have on you and making that important for some reason.
And the road has completely given out to wild terrain. You are at mile 4. Here's Suit. Do you continue at full speed, or what shall
Christine
you do?
Feel about it?
Christine, let's see, how does Christine feel about this?
Her Teloy is cruise control, apparently. That's what I wrote
then yeah, for Tilo is cruise control with that 8. Christine definitely wants to keep going at full speed. Wants to just you're already there, just keep going. Get ready for a
Okay.
bumpy ride. If everybody isn't buckled in already, dunk 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 dunk
That's on them.
Mazzoli hasn't learned what seatbelts are, so he's bouncing
just
around.
banging around. So you're also knocking into Bessemer in the back seat, among other things. Yeah. As you're coroning along at breakneck speed in this increasingly rough terrain, you see out of the air around you is getting hot. It's getting hot and humid. It's getting more and more humid. As what looks to be some sort of strong overcast system is rolling in this one of the many endless summer storms upon this side of the island, and out of those big cloud formations in the distance, you see the ruins of some pretty impressive towers. They're made out of a blue stone, which is no longer really available. It was mined to absolute depletion in the city of Nimrod long ago to make this very city. That city is now completely fallen to ruins. It's abandoned city number 25. Its actual abandonment date probably around the year 1100, when a lot of the major disasters happened that result in the formation of the Seasons Keep. But that's a small history lesson for another time. Those large ruined towers in the distance are giving way to an increasing series of very at first picturesque and then gloomy and then quite frightening ruins all around you, with these flooded swampy terrains as a storm rolls in. The weather is increasingly hot.
Sorry, how hot are we talking?
Well,
I'm
as you
about to get naked again, but you don't need the star chart anymore. That's how hot.
Fair. Is it fair? It's certainly a fact.
It is. I will not be sticky in clothes.
It's the heat starts at it started on the road before, like while you were on the field proper. I'd say it was a warm 75, but it was a dry heat. Not no more. It's a dry heat. 70 goes to 80, 80 goes to 90. It's now approaching 95, and hot, humid weather out. This storm is a brewing, and it's about to break it at any moment, in quite possibly some of the crappiest terrain that Summerside has to offer. As you start driving along, Hirsute and Christine find that the terrain is becoming sloshy. It's becoming wet and sodden, and your wonderful tires are nevertheless kicking up huge sluices of muddy water to either side as you speed along.
You're muted.
Yeah, muted, sir.
Christine, I think for your suspension's sake, you gotta stay behind.
Beep.
I'll call you if I need you.
Beep beep. Yeah, Christine agrees with you on this one. That is a 5. Yeah, so are you all then going to be getting out of the car?
You're going to be getting soaked is what we're going to be getting.
You're definitely going to be getting soaked. If you open the doors on either side, the car will flood with water.
Is there a sunroof?
There is a sunroof.
Let's climb out of that.
Isn't it convertible, Jeff?
Yeah.
Or no, it's a hardtop. Can you remind us?
Both. It's magic.
Jeff, you're muted.
Magic.
There could be a sunroof, I guess.
Well, if there isn't one, there'd be a loud crinkling sound, like the popping of an old-fashioned sardine can, as Christine sort of moves, sluices some metal away, giving you some time off. Better to ruin the roof temporarily than have you track all of that disgusting water inside her guts.
Yannick roof. Yannick roof.
So you climb up on top of the roof of Christine. As you do so, once you are out, The top slowly starts crumpling back into place as Christine starts healing the very minor damage that she gave herself to give you an egress.
Yeah.
It's a real sight to behold. Before you, on one side, the bluish stone towers of the abandoned city. Towers everywhere, some completely collapsed under the ground, ruins and monuments of city spirits or deities long since ignored or forgotten. Chambers of commerce lying sodden underwater. Finally, to the west, you see a couple of more modern looking buildings. It's the city proper, the area of the Regency of Mandibelgrot, which abuts almost entirely against the abandoned city, in most likely a drowned hope to someday reclaim part of the city as its own territory.
I'm just frolicking in the water.
Oh, you're splashing around?
Muddy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
well, presumably we all move in a direction toward a thing.
Y'all moving deeper into the city, or are you going more towards the modern buildings?
I would vote for modern buildings.
Should we open the bag first? I've never done this before, but I have a feeling that I did something with this bag.
No, yes,
and I
yes.
am afraid of. I feel like what I'm afraid of is spilling what's inside, but that doesn't make sense. Why would I put liquid in there?
Bessemer, I don't know what. Oh wait, that's not the voice. I'm sorry. I have a jawbreaker. Hang on.
This is my favorite thing that's ever happened.
Bessemer, I don't know whatever perversions you put in your bag, but we don't need to deal with it right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think we're fine.
I am afraid of annoying her suit, and so
You've never been afraid of that.
I know, but I don't. I know, but I don't. I know that I annoy you, and so I'm like, I think I will wait, but not. I'm still trying to not spill whatever's inside for some reason. So I'm holding the bag like tenderly,
like cradling it in front.
Yeah, like I'm not right.
Style. Yeah,
right. I'm not handling the bag. I'm hugging that Trader Joe's parcel.
So let's see. It was a vote for the modern buildings from her suit. What say the rest of you?
The faster I cannot be slogging in the mud, the better, because I am stuck.
Oh, that's right. Your suit of iron, your beautiful red living armor, a sight to behold, does tend to get waterlogged. It is made for the icy climes of Interhart, the winter island.
This is not the first time Vasole has been completely immersed in water.
100%. And I believe last time in the canal in Springside in the region of Brocadia, you sank right to the bottom.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm following Bessemer. I would like to say if Bessemer did not write herself a note memento style for how to use the bag, I would love to just roll reason and figure it out, since that's my whole character is built around figuring out things by just looking at them.
The figure outery of it is available for you in a reason roll.
Okay, great. And it is the dumbest mind palace ever, because it definitely starts with her pouring soup into a bag, and then her pouring whiskey into a bag, and then her pouring like hamster blood into a bag, and then I'm like, oh my god, something's really wrong with my brain. I got a natural 12. That is a waste of a 12, but
that natural 12 is going to tell you that the only way that Bessemer would be clinging a bag, which you have in all of your adventures never seen her carry, that bag it's a witch's bag. It's damn near indestructible. There must be some, and it's not that. Also, as a side note, Bessemer being so cavalier with her own actions and her own self, you deduce from the fact that she's clutching it means that there is a part of the rest of her party in there. Given the circumstances, it means that the only thing that could possibly be in there is a piece of everybody. That's the only reason that she would cradle a bag like that to herself. Either that, or it's filled with water-soluble drugs.
Well, I say all this. I say that it must be either the things you said or cheese, because to me, a mature Huda would be like the ultimate thing you'd put in a bag to keep out of, away from mold and rain and stuff. But it's really up to her how she uses that information. But yeah, just following the group towards shelter.
Fasole is like knocking on various parts of his armor to make sure that like all of his limbs are still in there.
So far, so good. DCI Beans, having posited this, Bessemer, what do you say? What do you say?
Well, as we were I'm presuming. Well, we're walking toward. Have we found some sort of something to stand under?
Stand under.
Or
no.
on?
The terrain is uneven, and there are places that are less, completely flooded, than other portions of it. So, presumably at this point, you've found some elevation. Yeah, but beyond that, there's really nothing to dug under at this moment.
Okay, so what Beans has told me makes a lot of sense. And I don't think it's drugs. So, but I'm not
cheese.
Or cheese. If it's cheese, though, I'll share it with you first. And I promised DCI Beans this emphatically. But I'm pretty sure I am afraid that it contains parts of our souls. But I don't think I would have done that because I can't imagine a situation where we would have needed that. So
wait, what? Why? Why would you do that?
Exactly. So
I would never give you permission to mess with my soul.
Right. You're right. We agree. So what I think it must be is something with our minds. I don't know. So what I do is to the best of my ability, knowing how I am wont to perform magic and the intuitive way in which I'm holding the bag, I proceed to, I don't want to say open it because I'm not like opening it up, but rather like open/enter it. Like I'm kind of like face first. It's almost like I don't want things to escape, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go inside.
So you're putting your face in the bag.
Yeah, my face is pretty close to the bag as it opens. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As you push your face into the bag, it is like open your eyes up underwater. You see you see sort of a weird blur of events. Up is down, just like in a pool of water also. And it is extremely confusing because it seems to be written in a bunch of different, for lack of a better word, scripts, formats. One is all black and white and schematic and analytic. The other one is written in beautiful red curlicues and script. The other one is didactic, dry as a bone. The perfect detective read. And then there's another one which you instantly recognize, of course, as your own mental handwriting. They're all very confused up because they were all taken together.
First of all, this is fucking great. Like, who knew? I'm just excited about magic for a second. And then I'm like, okay. And I try to do what I know to be my fastest way to like retrieve information is to assimilate in some capacity. So what I do is I in my mind palace with my head in this fucking bag, I'm imagining being each of the people in the party and like then like kind of like changing my, we'll call it like a vibration level to match whatever their like handwriting part of the multiverse dimensionality is coming in so that I can like get what I need from it. And when I have what feels like the story, I emerge from the bag.
Yeah, you emerge from the bag. You have an incredibly heavy feeling in your head. You're, when you're tired and you can't lift up your head, or you've had too much sorbet, you've got a terrible brain freeze. Your head just feels absolutely stuffed. And you lift your head up, and for a brief moment, you have this sort of beautiful kinship with all the other people in this car around you, including the car. Back, a couple dozen yards from where, and then you look up at the rainy sky, and a ton of what feels just like burning ectoplasm just sort of beams out of your eyes, your nostrils, your mouth, your ears, just sort of streams out and all just sort of like rockets towards each person that it's from, as it sort of slaps each person in their forehead and starts 100% mouth open.
Is this normal? It's just
yeah. All of these.
I love magic.
memories, streaming forward in disgusting ectoplasmic burning form. It's like the back of the throat feeling when you eat Szechuan food, except it's coming directly into your forehead and it's your own memories. And within seconds, yeah. What was that?
Can we avoid it?
You could try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Roll to
That
move.
shit on me. Like, come on. What?
Yeah, roll move.
Yeah, I don't want that shit on me at all. I gotta do 12.
Oh yeah, you are now in a you are now
Oh,
in
I
a,
got
in a
12.
you got a 12. You are now in a dance war with your own memories of an indeterminate amount of time, most likely several hours. It is like an eel. A lot of eels. I keep using eels. There's a lot of like an eel in the air. This burning ectoplasm is now swooping in the air as you are sloshing around on the hill, weaving expertly, swiftly, dodging your own memories.
I was like, get the hell away from me.
The rest of you, meanwhile, now suddenly are given this burning sensation, and with it comes a re-memory. We roll back time for a brief moment to a little while ago. Driving along a smooth road. What song are you listening to in the car right now?
You wouldn't have heard of it.
I would. Oh right, yeah, it's Magic. I couldn't. You've never heard of that band? Just too cool to. Oh, I bet
it's a reverse cover, so it's like Sweet Home Alabama covered by an 11th century troubadour.
Perfect.
So it doesn't even. It's like not in English, but like if you knew the song, which we don't because we're from here, not Earth. But is one of us from Earth? I forget. Anyway, it's
like the medieval covers of Ghostface Killer or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
thy
exactly.
home, Alabaster. Yeah, they've never heard of Alabama. It's been mangled so many times at this point. Skies are cerulean, and as you're driving along, sort of trying to make sense of it. You're Bessemer at this point. You're still partially naked as you're following the map of the star chart on your back, to take a turn on a road towards the east. And as you're going, there is a troop of what look to be soldiers. One of whom steps into the way of the car. And just waving hands like stop.
What?
Please stop. If you have an automobile, we need your help immediately.
If we have an automobile, you need help immediately.
Yes,
but if we don't have an automobile, you don't need help.
Well, you clearly have an automobile. I'm sorry, I panicked.
You
clearly, obviously have one right there in your person. Just
what if it's not ours?
Well, then it is. We are going to commandeer it as
I would like to see you try doing that. Do it.
You're saying you're going to steal the car we stole? So you're like dishonorable, no honor among thieves.
No, we're commandeering it on official business. It's a very
Beans. Let him try. Let him try do it. Let him try it. Try it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, at that moment, out of the heath, start marching about 24 men, women, undead. Looks like also one piece of like an ambulatory furniture. All in full regalia. All march out with their weapons and shields. And says, we truly don't want any trouble. We desperately need your help. There's something coming, and we need to sort of take a good look at it before we see if it's worth pursuing or not.
Well, like a parlay? Like, what do you mean?
Yes. Well, that's an excellent. Yes, just like a parlay. We need to see if it's certainly not one of ours.
Like an 8-way or what? What are we talking?
I turn to DCI Beans and say, "Doesn't parlay just mean talk or to talk?"
I think it's a type of bet where you're betting on a thing to happen in one inning, and then after the first touchdown, and then when the goalkeeper leaves the goal
Beans,
area.
Don't you speak French?
However, in the Sometimes Kingdom, it's called Copian, and
fine, but
it's a long talk, not a long doigt. It's hard to explain, but they are related.
It
yes,
means talk. Okay.
Also, he has the palatal muscles of a skunk. It's all very complicated. So many layers within layers. So he immediately turns to Hirsute, who seems to be the one in charge of this ruckus, and he says, good undead Sarah, please, I implore you. We do need to we need a parlay. Or first, I suppose, the scouting, and then potentially the parlay. And if not those two, then the battle. But hopefully you'll be long gone by then.
Who are you? What do you want? And how much are you paying?
If it's I'm assuming you're adventurers given your automobile and your eclectic. I'm guessing autumn, winter. Yeah. So allow me to introduce myself. Yes, my name is Agamo. Agamo Lancella, and I am the sergeant of this regiment of the noble summer guard. We are out on patrol, and there have been talks of summer greens out, that the likes of which we have not seen in some time. We just want to make sure that there's not trouble a brewing in the region of Mandabell. So if we could just take a look at the regalia, I think all will be well.
Hold on. What constitutes trouble?
Picking a battle.
So you want to go make sure that they aren't picking a battle?
We want to make sure that they're people that we shouldn't be picking a battle with.
So that you can't yourself pick a battle with them?
If necessary, yes.
So you're afraid of them.
A battle is going to happen no matter what.
A battle, well, turns his head to think, a battle may be brewing, but it's good to ascertain if it's a battle worth having.
That's good logic, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's fine, but terrain here isn't that great for my tires is one of the problems.
Well, if it's coin you be wanting, does a little whistle, which I'm not going to do into my amazing new microphone because I'm afraid. Nobody want to touch it.
Probably fuck up the mic. Yeah,
it would not fuck up the mic. That's not how that works.
Not how mics work.
Whistle.
I meant the audio. Sorry, wouldn't it peak the audio if you whistled into the mic?
Yeah, that could light your computer on fire.
That's how technology works, everybody. You whistle too hard, secret code.
Hard laughing at this.
I think
I whistle so hard my face exploded.
What is this person? Wait, sorry. This is the memory we're gaining?
This is the memory you've got. Yeah.
We were stopped.
We stopped in the road.
I want to see how this plays out. I like how Hirsute drives. So
yeah.
The car.
He drives the car and also drives a hard bargain.
To be fair, we did end the post memory outside of the car. So wherever we are, we have to end up outside the car.
Destiny.
And we have to be 20 yards on either side from both groups, and we're currently, right next to one group.
So he says, and someone walks over. and in what looks like it to be leather hide consumed by teeth. It's like
So they're naked because someone ate their armor.
Looks like their armor is well, I guess they'd be naked underneath it, but that's true of most clothing.
It's true of almost all clothing, in fact.
This is Fiamafuma. This is my. Could you so how much will you be needing? 300, 400 apiece. What's good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Excellent. What's all of your reactions to being told that this amount of money is just easy pickings here?
I hold up 4 fingers. My rate is 400. Knowing that this would more than double my current coin.
Yeah. For 400, we're gonna definitely we'd like to make sure that you won't just drive away. That would be
5
excellent.
seconds ago you were throwing money around, and now you're being a little baby about it. What happened?
Fine. Fiamma walks up, and you can see up close that the armor seems to be sculpted. It's beautiful. It's not actual monstrosity hide. It seems to be an ornamental tooled leather and other such finery with some sculpted bits that look like ceramic. It's actually a little bit funky, a little bit kind of crappy up front, but most of it looks pretty cool. And says, here you go, I guess. Opens up a handsome, very small chest and starts counting out adventurers' coins, the silver, and just starts handing out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 400, 300, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we've been, we have to keep a reserve on this on all hands. It's it's Yspadon's orders, to be honest. We never know when we're going to find an adventure in the field. We just need help just all the time.
Wait, but you work for Yspadon.
Well, I didn't say that. and
but Yspadon ordered you to do something.
Who did you work for?
It was no. We don't work for the Hand of Summer. We don't work for it, but he
right. So who do you work for? For whom do you work? Sorry, with the M. For whom?
I work for the splendid 13th Battalion of the Royal Defensive Regiments of the splendid kingdom, the Marine Regency of Mandible Grot, which you will find to the east thus far. And points down the road. And she says, let's just forget about all of that Yspadon stuff. All I'm saying is that we need a lot of coin because we need a lot of adventurers.
Okay. Other question before we do whatever we're doing. Have you seen a giant eyeball anywhere, just casually? If you had to say, no, don't think about it. Just yes, no, maybe.
I mean, I've had that dream once or twice, but I think most people have. It's a pretty common dream here in summer. Do you mean a giant, a big one? How big are we talking here? She's saying this as she's clink, 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 clink.
Yes, 1,000 times larger than the elf itself.
No, I can't say that I've seen hide nor hair of that. And 200 and 300.
Have you forgotten large swaths of time and ended up somewhere strange?
Yeah, she looks over at Agemo, who is just shaking her head no. She's turns and is I'm not aware of such things. And honestly,
okay, can I roll a reason to just
100%? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I got a 6.
Yeah, that's a success. You this is obviously bullshit. From their demeanor and their almost comically bad dip. It's clear.
So yes, we have also been losing time.
I'm losing time, and points to the sky. Maybe points to and it takes you a second as you follow her hand to the horizon out there. You've been losing time out there.
Well, there's an eye in the sky.
I still don't know what you mean by this eye, but you're losing time elsewhere, not here in summer.
We've lost time one time.
You've lost time one time. Oh, well, I guess that's not as bad.
Two times.
You've lost. Okay. How do you know? How do you know? And then
How many?
Yeah.
How do you know how many times you've lost time?
Agamo motions to Fiamma again, who then out of one of the teeth of her armor opens it up and pulls out a small metal cube and says, well, this is the thing. With their standard issue. It's actually once again not to Yisbadaden's really, that's been his initiative to make sure that all battalions have these so we can keep track of it. We sprinkle them about wherever we can. Yeah.
To what end?
Well, it's the darndest thing, really. It's a piece of Technics magic I personally don't understand. I'm just, well, not just, but I'm a soldier of fortune, for hire. That's what I do. That's my trade. Yeah, it starts blinking. It blinks different colors when there's a memory that's been lost. I'm sure we have a couple of extra. They're quite expensive, so please return them when you're done. But
we do have one of these, right?
Yeah, we have one.
But it just tells us when it happens, and we kind of know when it happens because
that's. So yeah, the number of times that it blinks is the amount of times that your memory has been sort of what's the word for it? They're just gaps in time is what we've been calling them, time gaps.
Okay. One more question. So Yisbadaden, he's not actually, he just can, it's just because of his renown that he could just go around telling you guys, offering suggestions to people. Is that basically it?
Fiamma gets this sort of kind of it's an enigmatic look and says I suppose you could say that, yes. Yeah.
Just because he's the big man on the big man.
He's not the biggest man, but he sure is a big man.
Well, yeah, but he's also,
there's bigger guys.
The realm are pretty big.
Yeah, pretty big, right?
Yeah, I would say his giant skull. He's pretty tall. He's quite tall. He's not the tallest giant
in importance.
Oh, in importance. Oh well, that's a whole. That's I don't. That's all.
But he's not directing y'all. That's my question.
There is an awkward pause in the conversation. And says, technically, no. But if Yisbadaden mentions something and then we get word from the summer house, well, we do it. He's certainly not in charge. We are all independent kingdoms here. We're all independent kingdoms of summer.
Right. Do you verify his signature when he gives you orders?
There's no need. They're given to us in the words. The official giant language. It's quite large and complicated. Usually shows up as a stone plinth.
But you speak the giant language.
Well, one of our party does and points. And from behind, one of the members of the regiment starts squaring up, and it's very clear. It is a half crystal giant of about 13 feet tall. Just had been sitting, slouching, maybe talking. Who's to say? Well, one of our members do. That's
one of your members and only Yisbadaden speak this language.
Oh no, many giants and many members of the court speak it as well.
So you're sure that the orders are coming from Yisbadaden, even though it's just in the language that a lot of people speak?
They look back at each other and then back at you and say, I don't super like where this line of conversation is going.
Could you show us the words? I'm sorry, Bessemel, do you have another suggestion here?
I had a question about. No, you go first, DCI Beans. Continue.
I was thinking we should walk away from Christine toward gigantic words if they are literally things that are visible, not just audible in your mind's ear, but like a thing I can see. Perhaps one of us can just, learn a language really quick and figure it out.
Interesting. Tell you what, why don't we capture two birds with one stone here? Why don't we bring you over towards the area that we need to take a quick look-see, as it were, of this encroaching regiment, and we can show you the blinch because it's not far from there at all.
Sure. And on the way, can you tell us why this makes you feel so weird? Because you get awkward every time it comes up.
Look, I hate to be, in these recovered times. It's of course we're all seasons keep. These are these are matters for summer, adventurer or no. And I think that and sort of trails off. So shall we take a look at the words?
That none of that was
No,
at all in
yeah.
any capacity a response to what I said to you before. None of those words even remotely addressed the words that I said to you.
I feel like maybe we should just reach into your mind and take the answer out. But before that, I have to say we're not hurting two birds or any birds.
Excuse
no
me now?
birds would be stoned or trapped or whatever you said.
I
We
would
would
like
hurt
to
no
second
birds.
everything DCI Beans has said. I can just reach into your brain and take the information. I am doing you a courtesy by asking.
I'm not going to do the
This is the
courtesy.
first time she has ever done that.
Yeah.
That's true. And
No
I don't
lies
even like you
spoken.
that much. I don't know
You might
why.
as well let her do it, actually. I mean, she's just going to do it anyway. And you can't stop her. I mean, at that point, it is a crime. But no jury would convict her. So, I don't know.
I'm just going to use a spell while whatever happens next is happening, just to use it, called Brain Entangling, which I'm going to write down. So it's going to be a 2-word
Nice.
spell. And then I'm going to try to just read. I'm going to try to entangle my brain with this person's brain, so I can, the mercenary captain, so I can read her thoughts and understand what she knows about the giant eye in the sky.
Sure.
I'm enjoying this social intimidation tactic, so I actually haven't initiated any magic yet, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah, tell me what brain entanglement feels like. What sort of detectoring it does.
I guess let's figure this out. It seems like it would definitely be guile because it's about sort of mind control stuff.
Indeed.
And at step 1, it would cost 6 grit because it's 2 words. But step 1 says charm 1 person living or dead for 1 round. So I think I'd get 1 round, just like 10 seconds of information. At step 2, I could do it for a minute. So I think I'm going to spend 9 grit. So I'm going to go way down on grit to spend 1 minute reading her mind. And all I really want to do is read her mind. I'm not actually going to make her do anything. I just want to know what's happening vis-a-vis the giant eye, falling asleep. There's a giant who teleports, maybe does other stuff. Seems cool. Maybe really tall, maybe not that tall for a giant. I think there's a lot at stake here with the height of our...
Specifically only that, yeah.
Specifically, NPC protagonist guy, so...
yeah, tell me what it's like, what it feels like to cast this spell.
I think being inside the mind of a petty mercenary who only thinks about money is like being inside of a spreadsheet. And there's like a regimented, I'm like in a video game where there's like columns and platforms, and I must scurry around them. And as I'm scurrying, there's forms in the background that one would think would interact with the platforms and tip me over into the waters below, but instead are just, supernumerary. They're just manifest. So it's sort of like playing like Smash Brothers, but with a... Oh my god! Oh, the music in here is incredible. But
yeah, this is like it's like the if Labyrinth, the set of the final scene in Labyrinth was in like an accountant's office. Yeah, there's rolls of parchment and paper everywhere. There's lines and columns on chalkboards as you're darting around this purely informatic environment. Yeah, and from that you come away in this minute as you're infiltrating the data, so to speak, with a couple of things. One, this person is actually deeply worried about whatever regiment is coming their way. Is not 100% convinced that regiment is made up of human folk or even a recognizable species. And second, that in terms of what is going on with Yisbdaden, there are feelings of awe and reverence. One might even describe them in some way as the old notion of chivalric love, even for this cold-hearted mercenary. It seems that this is a person who holds the giant Yisbdaden in absolute and total awe, and would do anything that they said, for the good of Summerside. Having done so many times before, sometimes on endeavors quite bloody.
But to clarify, they are getting orders from Yspadaden that they believe are directly from Yspadaden.
Yes, 100%.
To war.
It is not so much do war as it seems to be do whatever is necessary to stop war, even if that means getting into battles. That's politics for you.
Okay, but so and the giant, we'll call it the observer in the sky.
Yeah,
they don't know anything about, and they don't know anything about the time. I don't learn any secrets.
They absolutely, there are no secrets inside Donkey Kong accounting office once infiltrated. Yeah, no, they don't know about the eye in the sky, but they do know about like they have lost time dozens of times. First little seconds, and those seconds turned into minutes and then to hours, and it's been happening with increasing frequency. It has been happening for months.
Right, but I mean, I learned their secrets, but they don't know any of the secrets, I should say, right? So it's just sort of stuff we already know.
Yeah, no, they don't know. It's stuff that you already know. They don't know about the eye in the sky. You know, not to goose a little bit of, I always like people spending grit. But as long as you're in there and you wanted to, kick the tires a little bit with brain entanglement, that's nothing about. There's no words in there specifically about memory per se. You can also like maybe do a little bit deeper digging and see if there's anything about what they don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible to roll reason while playing the video game version of their head?
Absolutely, there's no roll against rolling while you're casting a a spell.
Solving the Zelda puzzle inside their head.
Yeah.
I got a natural 1.
Oh,
on a D12 plus 9.
let me tell you. I think what is really happening here is that the ghost whale in the sky, one of its eyes is dislodged, and obviously this is like an occult dealing, with the sky ghosts. That's obviously what's happening.
Obviously. Great. So I think I'm booted out of. I think Beans is just transfixed, like sort of seizing. And the person is also just kind of like Martha Graham dancing. And then suddenly they are back to normal. And I just fall cartoonishly over on my back and then have to flip over onto my belly. Yeah.
Plop. So Agemo is doing that. And, Fiamma says, oh, shit. Oh, he's having a seizure. Hold on, your medicine. Let's go. We have to go. Listen, we have to go get him his medicine right now. If he's seizing up, I will leave you all here. Can we take a ride with you over there to get his seizure medicine quickly? They like look at you stone face and said, well, man, fuck all of you already. She starts tromping off with Agemo on one shoulder back towards where they were with their battalion.
Wait, hang on. We'll just drive back and drive quick. You shouldn't be moving them. That's the problem.
Well, thanks so much for your kindness. At least one of you seems to be a gentleman.
I'm not in charge of the car.
Yeah, the car is in charge of the car, obviously.
Exactly.
I just think it's weird we're driving 20 feet.
I got the, excuse me, it's 20 hogs fathoms. It's actually a little bit of a distance away. My apologies.
We're using fathoms for land. What the hell is wrong with you?
Hogs fathom is a standard use of measurement for many different.
We're unserious people, and I drive to the. What is
it? you drive several minutes in the direction with Agemo, who is now cradling one hand with one glove, as sort of like, no, I'm fine, thank you. Boy, I could go for some of that lemon water now. You know what I mean? I'm talking to Fiamma, and So if you've driven now, you're driven up to the rest of the battalion. The rest of the soldiers that were sort of in your vicinity are now tromping along behind the car. At a distance to catch up with them, and they reach through a satchel. They pick out a get a thing. She measures it out, and it's clear that lacking a healer in this particular regiment, Fiamma seems to have become the resident bone saw of sorts. Pulls out the right thing and the tincture and blah blah blah, and then hands it off to Agemo, who takes it quickly and says, "Thanks, I feel much better already." Well, I suppose as long as we're here. Why don't you drive just half a hog's fathom over that way and see what's over the hill?
It's so stupid that they still use hog's fathoms in summer. I'm still recovering. Because in Copia, in autumn we already moved to the the farthingate and middle miles sub-inch system, which has a it's really simple. There's 60s, 12s, and 3 16s, which fit into the 60s, which fit into the 12s, all of which fit into the big 16s. So it's just crazy to me that anyone uses the Hog's Fathom in this day and age. Rant over.
No, Fiamma is just like, thank you. Someone finally says it. I'm so sick of using this indeterminate. Like, it's really like, how big is the hog? Like, how deep is that part of the sea? These things are all so relative. It's just such an archaic system.
Well, in winter, we use the metric system, which is you find out a lot of metrics about yourself and how long things are, and then you use them to measure other things. And then you use those metrics as sort of a, sometimes we call them saber metrics if you have a saber. And let's just say, if you're throwing things a little too far, it's all money ball.
They also, see, having, just, God, what an advanced system. That sounds fantastic. Just stuck in, stuck in the Dark Ages over here with all of our petty squabbles between the different kingdoms, war almost always breaking out, the ruins of our floating cities. It's just, so old fashioned. Here it is. And, points over there to what is a purple plinth in the ground. He's like, the words. Oh, and stop the car. All 4 doors open simultaneously as Christine wants you all out.
Oh yeah, scampering.
It is a plinth with immense almost Mesopotamian style staccato marks in it, marked by much smaller ones that look like bones clustered together. Is a dense and complex script.
Can any of us read this?
No, you cannot. One of the members of the regiment, the giant, says that he can.
What does it say?
The soldier, sort of stomps over and, leans down. He's about 12 feet tall, so sort of leans in, and he says, as you can see from this clause right here, this here is from the royal edict of the so and so. That's not important. From the
I'm gonna let you finish.
But... from the station of Yisbadden, hand of summer, defender of the realm. We must cease war wherever it is found. There are errant battalions along the easternmost ridge. Please investigate them and find out their source of origin forthwith.
Hang on, Ethan, I have a question. Is this proposing that we have a bunch of like outstanding people on an island still fighting World War II situation in the wilds of summer? Is that where is that what we're getting here, or?
Well, those are questions you can ask if your suit is curious about it.
Yeah, fine. Actually, no, I'm sorry, he's not. He completely is not. He's just
he's interested in coin and in the fight.
What he's actually going to ask is, how long ago? Did these just appear? Did they come out of the ground?
Well, I suppose if you have one of these, and points to the insignia on Vuma where the green cube is kept, then I suppose you've already been to the court of summer. Am I correct? Yes, the summer house. No. Oh well.
Yes, we met Master Yisbadden.
There's a very long pause, like Fuma's brain just broke after you said that.
Also,
that's why we're asking about the sun.
Sorry, Fasole.
I was done.
I was just saying her suit you don't remember because you fought with your memories, but when they tried to come back to you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the fuck that shit was.
I don't know, and I don't.
Letting it touch me. It was gross.
Yeah, that memory eel was gross.
It's gross and fleshy. I don't does need to touch me.
No, it's delicious. It's surprisingly sweet.
I thought we
you
were still
know?
in the flashback.
Well, we're still in the past. We're still.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
you're
we're
still in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't use it against me, Bessemer.
Well, this is actually great because this is actually technically not the past. This is a memory. So it's
Time
like,
is complex.
yeah, I feel like at this point, like maybe this memory is maybe starting to draw to a close. If the fifth wall is being, is it the sixth wall?
Oh
What
shit!
wall is
No,
the-
let's get the answer before the memory ends, guys.
We haven't even gotten to our blocking yet.
Could we
Shit.
roll to figure out what the thing actually says to answer Jeff's very
Yes,
brilliant
100%. DCI Beans, I believe you are an animal of Copia. Language shouldn't be terribly difficult for you.
Oh, that's true. Wait, I have a power related to this from being an animal of Copia. That power is tongue scribed. Burn D10 grit to roughly translate any language for a while. I'll do that instead, but I would still also like to roll reason, of course, and hope to not
100%.
roll a natural one. But let me burn all of my remaining grit. I am at 0 grit,
Nice.
but I can read this language for a little while. It says,
All right.
0 grit.
Yeah, you analyze the surface, and it's pretty perfunctory. All of the words in your memory palace start lining up. Memes, phonemes, words, things, and it's a complex script, but still part of a branching dialect from once upon a time. It's less ancient than giants like to lead on. Or at least this modern version of it is. And you put it all together, and it definitely says, without a shadow of the doubt, from the royal edict of Yisbedad and Penquar, leader of the court of summer, long may it rain. There are interlopers along the east of Springside that would make war against us. Please investigate them to find out what, et cetera, threat that they have. Sincerely from the hand of summer, Yisbedad and long may he reign. And it ends.
Sorry, and this is clearly then something from the ancient past, essentially.
Oh no, this was probably written about like 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, all right. So he's still. We got a bad situation here. Looks
But
like.
we have reason to believe that this is legitimate.
Oh, yeah, it's either an amazing forgery, which is always possible. But it seems to be coming from the Court of Summer. And it is signed in signatory. It's got the seal of the Court of Summer.
It's a plinth. Like,
yeah,
where
it's
did it? How did it get here?
There is a member of that court who is a teleporter.
You're saying he just teleported and dropped it here?
Looks like. Or they've got an ex-journeyer on staff doing same.
Hex, you got anything to say about this? I mean, Vex?
My regards to the peanut gallery.
Could we determine if it's a forgery? I can't spin grid on this, so
yeah, you are on vapors.
Just licking it, hugging it,
Yeah,
just thinking about
in your
chisel.
fragile state. You look at. Oh, just hold on 1 second. We're gonna pause. My wife has come home at the door. I don't want to interfere with audio.
That's right. Another person is married.
What did I say in the chat earlier today before we started?
I'm sorry, I'm so bitter.
But that's actually a secret positive feeling with a sheet ghost costume on. It's pretending to be a spooky feeling, but really it's a nice feeling.
I like the idea of a real ghost wearing a sheet to be a little less terrifying. Underneath is like the
I think
Ghostbusters
about that a
style
lot.
Technicolor post. Oh, it's just all along. Oh God!
Especially if their ghost has like a meat, like open, no skin ghost.
That kind of ghost. Didn't her suit? Didn't you lead a battalion of those or in the library in winter? Yeah, meat ghosts.
Oh, we were
Torsos.
fighting. I didn't lead them. I thought I was
Yeah,
fighting them.
you fought them, and well, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Okay, we're back. A dinosaur story.
I loved that movie as a child.
I can honestly say I remember there being dinosaurs in it, and that's about it.
It was my
Same.
first John Patrick Shanley experience.
You never forget your first John Patrick Shanley. That's true.
I guess that's probably my first John Patrick Shanley too. Then
Yeah, in your vapor state, Beans, you lick the plinth, and it is made from an old stone. It's made from an old stone, and it had the same kind of tang as the walls of the halls of that big old building that you'd previously been in. That is a court signature. This is an official document from the Court of Summer.
Okay, well, we can't trust anyone. Definitely not giant teleporting famous people. Celebrities. This is their thing, right? They're not. They're no longer fully human. They've devolved into the socius. They exist purely on the surfaces. The topology of culture. I'm just ranting.
Generalization, but I hear you.
If it is from
I believe that
Eastman,
100%.
it's great.
I don't think Beans cares that much. Beans is now on his back, fully, just like curled up, legs kicking, asleep.
If it is from Eastman, that's great, but it just doesn't feel like Eastman would, make people fight each other.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Never trust. Hex of Hexagon writes, never trust celebrities or teleporters. I think, yeah. The teleporters are different from you and
or
me.
celeb reporters.
Well,
Paparazzi?
Yeah. You got there 2 seconds before me. So it looks like this is an official investigation sent from the highest channels. This is also, I should mention, the first time that any of you have heard of Yisudun being referred to in any sort of royal capacity. Nobody has since see, everybody seems to be dancing around it, but nobody's ever referred to him as king outside of this one particular pleather.
Even me, who I am aware of who this guy was. I just didn't know how to pronounce his name.
Yes,
because I'd only ever read it.
Yeah, you read something, you're like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, unless I've heard a recording of it or heard it out loud.
You read something spelled the way Ispadon and Penguar would be spelled, and you naturally it could have probably a couple ways you could say it.
Actually, a question to Ethan
Yes.
about that. So if I remember, Summer is like a huge court which has a lot of lords and ladies.
A lot of lords and ladies. A lot of kingdoms.
A lot of kingdoms, right?
A lot of petty kingdoms. A lot of little mini kingdoms.
Well, are they all referred to as king, or
some of them have got dukes, some of them have got princesses, some of them are ladies in waiting.
There are princesses, but there's no king, right?
Well, there are, there's kings, and then there's king with a capital K. Some of them are kings. Some of them are Krang. Some of them are Kongs.
We're looking at sort of a 1600s Germany map.
Yeah, it's a 1600s Italy or Germany, essentially. It's it never quite gelled, and so they're all kind of at each other's throat all the time.
Just wanted to clear that one up.
Yeah,
it wasn't like the Holy Roman Empire where there's a lot of people, but there's one grand.
No. And in fact, there are no empires. Nation state building, the mania that took hold in Earth, never really took off here. Partly because the labor force has magic and would not let it.
Right,
so
that's
smart.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah, it's like pre-capital because of the labor force. We gotta get into that. I don't know. I'm on my back. I'm making cartoonish cooing noises.
It's DCI Beans thinking about the nature of a political economy, looking at the clouds in the sky.
I know that I have the ability to heal DCI Beans, but also I am aware that there could be an emergency situation, and he is actually healthy, but I've got my eye on him. I'm like an adult with a toddler in the room.
To be fair, just as a reminder, you also were basically delivered drugs by the apothecary healer official of the Court of Summer. You have a large jug of liquid winter on your person.
It's liquid summer.
Excuse me, liquid summer.
Yes. I was looking at that, but I wasn't sure if it would do anything to his stats. You know what? I'll give him a swig of it.
It's written in Sumerian, the official language of Summer.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and give Beans a swig of it. I don't know if it's going to make him super drunk right now
we're gunching Beans up.
We're gunching up Beans, Stillfleet listeners.
Gunch up Beans. Gunch up Beans. Okay, great.
That that sweet liqueur. Are DCapians, do you accept? Yeah. As you look it up, that sweet liqueur. Pours down your throat. It's liquid gold. It's summer months. It's summer's sitting out by the pool, a ray of sunlight getting in the way. It's a warm breeze. And suddenly you feel extremely alert. Very, very alert. As 6 grit returns to your body without fail.
Oh, mon Dieu. I jump up and say, no more sitting on the dock of this bay. We cannot afford to watch the tide roll away. We must continue with our lives. Seize the day, you know how the song goes.
Yeah.
we must. What are we doing? All right, Ispedan, we must kill the king of summer. Right?
Everybody reaches for their daggers immediately.
No. We're finding out if those people over there are cool.
Yes. Oh, right. We arrest the king of summer and let the laws do
Agamo was reaching his head. He's like, that's all we wanted. We just needed a ride over. Thank you. Just if we could go see what's up with those people with their slightly off-green armor, which is a different colored green, which means that they might be from a different kingdom or a different region entirely.
They're definitely not.
Definitely not. Right. Yes. Can we though?
Let's go ask.
Great. So yeah, you're now you're walking over to it. Are you're literally going up? You're going to go walk over as independent party to this regiment and just talk to them.
I think a friendly wave. We're just checking it out. We're just making sure everything's cool.
So we're about 20 meters from the car and in between the 2 regiments now, just waving like assholes.
Yeah, basically. At that point, Agamo pushes Fasoli, still clutching his head from his seizure, and says, I'm sorry. What was your name, Fell Knight?
Fasole.
Fasole. Why don't just you go check it out?
I'm going.
Good. Fasole. So you just
cool.
Yeah. So you're just marching over. As you are marching closer and closer, to them. You hear the rub of soldiers, and the sounds of clinking armor, and you get sort of closer and. You get closer and there's still rubble, and the sounds don't really seem to differentiate themselves. It seems to still just be
hello.
You see a couple of shields sort of raise and clink, and as you get closer and closer, you hear like a
yes, nice to meet you.
Yeah, and the clicking of armor. There's certainly some helmets. They've got some spears. They've got some swords. Couple of broadswords, muskets. All of it looks real old. Like it's green, but it is deep green, and a lot of it's covered in like mold and dirt and clumps of what look like melted slag. As you're getting closer to it, you notice they patina. Yes, they're beautifully to my eyes, they'd be beautiful patina. I think to most people it would look like a horrible nightmare. This is an ill-kempt regiment. And there's lots of legs and lots of arms, lots of heads, lots of helmets, lots of shields, and they all kind of, as you get closer, seem to be kind of glued to each other.
That's good. That seems good. I mean, I think Fasoli is going to get a little closer just to make sure.
Yeah, it's you see sort of one of helmet-like thing, which is actually just a bunch of like cloth draped over like slag armor, vaguely shaped like a helmet. At this point, it's so ancient; it must be from a time long before Season's Keep. And it says like,
sorry, I didn't catch that. Your dialect is a little different from mine.
Several of the heads all look at each other, and then one of the heads in the back, it's like a carnival mache mask, with metal bits draping off of it. It looks like some of it is like bits of a puppet, like a mummers parade, chunks of a real like a siege engine, probably, a chariot wheel. This big head looms up, Miyazaki style, from behind them and says, orders.
Yes, do you have any?
Orders.
Well, the orders from over there were don't do war.
Don't do war. Not order.
But that was the order that they got.
Well, weak then. Not good order. We attack them, that order?
Hang on. Wait, I'm walking up now. Wait. So you're just roaming around looking for orders, but suddenly the orders are not good enough. Yeah. Pick one. I gotta say, do you have free will or what? Like, what's going on here?
Free will, for orders.
Yes, and the order was don't do war.
Don't do war, not order.
Well, that was the order
What is this
from
rat?
Yspadad and Penguar.
And suddenly, like, it hears, like, Yspadad, Yspadad and Penguar, yes, good order, do war with Yspadad and Penguar, good.
No, do not war.
Do not
Opposite
war,
of war.
so yes. And it starts just sort of marching as you're trying to befuddle it. It's just, it's
shit.
like, it's marching forward and it's getting a little bit closer. Yeah, do war.
You hear
Yes,
from the
Bernard.
car. No, it's a double negative. You're saying a double negative.
Do war.
I think it was just asking.
At this point, it is now 20 yards on either side of you. As Fasole, are you running? Are you?
I think Fasole is sort of speed walking back.
Yeah,
like,
back.
pulling her
Hirsute,
suit.
where are you? Are you standing in front of the car at this point, or are you?
I think this is where we find, like, because I'm outside. I'm like, wait, so takes orders, but like from no one. It's just interested in its own agenda. And then I turn to the audience. I say, does this remind you of anything?
Hey,
And then
topical.
Flag on the field. Too good.
Tweet. I like where that's going.
And then I turn around and I'm like, okay.
So flash forward to the present moment with you guys sodden soaking on a hillside. That's pretty much more or less how it happens. I'm assuming at this
fucking rush. Let's do that again.
I like that because the other side also like had their memories obviated. They like didn't get the order to not do war.
Yeah. So that's what was happening on that field.
And I guess we have what 1,600 extra silver.
Yeah. So
we rich.
What do
you
you
guys
mean
are
extra silver? You each have an additional regular ass 400 silver. You're welcome. You are worth the work that you do.
Applause.
I mean, technically we saved someone's life, so it's
well, at this point, I think all of you had to sort of narrate, like I imagine the story ends and it's ending with Bessemer saying, and then Hirsute, here's what you said. Because Hirsute, you did not accumulate this memory. Everybody else
told me. Hirsute, you were gonna defuse a war that Fasole, your brother, caused. It was really like fun and picaresque, but then it just ended. Everyone just fucking forgot. How about that? This is wild. I'm
gonna admit it was kind of my fault.
I know, right? But we forgive you because we all forgot, including yourself and the antagonist. So
I wonder what this says about our everyday lives.
Yeah, we're really interesting people, aren't we? I think I'm a wizard. I mean, I know I'm a wizard, but sometimes you like know something, you don't know it until someone else shows it to you by taking it out of your head and putting it back in magically. Like mind surgery.
I forgot that DCI Beans was so small when I gave him that fucking liquid summer.
The secret ingredient is basically magical methylphenidate. You're fine.
I'm like, this is what I'm like when I don't take my Adderall.
I'm just chewing a stick and then dropping it and chewing a bigger stick and then dropping it and then looking for a bigger stick.
That is accurate.
Yspadad's the bad guy, chewing a bigger stick, looking for a bigger stick.
What?
But
no.
Wait, say more about that, DCIB.
Yspadad sent the orders to do the war. Why did Yspadad do this?
No, the order said don't do war.
I still think, why is Yspadad sending orders about doing war instead of trying to stop the sun from being a giant eyeball and obliterating our minds every fucking half hour or whatever it is?
I think people are getting confused by losing their memories, and they might get a little confused and do a little war with each other. And he's trying to tell them not to do war, and they're all stupid.
You're saying he's using it as prophylactically.
Regardless of what's happening, I think maybe people are losing their memories, and other people might be using the fact that people are losing their memories to try and manipulate war.
I see what you are saying. I almost am lost because of the trees, which are very beautiful. I do not see the forest behind them.
How beautifully metaphoric.
Okay, following your lead. We're here in the abandoned city. Where do we go now?
Yeah, I don't think that flashback illuminated where we should go, though.
Yeah,
Not
there were
in the
two choices.
slightest.
Yeah, not in the slightest. There were two choices: a modern building, or there was a modern building or the ruins. It's pretty binary.
Well, is it modern art?
Well, to your eyes, modern simply means clean lines. Not the modernism is the province of art galleries. It never really made its way into architecture. You've got floating obsidian towers as a run-of-the-mill occurrence that need to be decommissioned. Sort of modernism takes on a certain antiquated charm, ironically, in this fantasy realm. But to answer your question, the most slightly modern buildings or the ruins.
Wait, sorry, you mean like rounded edges? Is that really literally what you mean by modern, or
Clean lines? Efficient layout.
Less baroque.
A distinct lack of grottos, escarpments. Not stapled together from a dozen different eras. Which is ironic because that'd probably be more modern in our world. But that's culture.
Yeah, I'm the only one who voted, by the way, on which building. I think it said modern building.
Yeah, you said you voted half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago.
No, I voted modern.
Oh, modern. Well, that's two.
All right, let's go do the modern. No,
Okay.
Bessamel, is there some serious objection
I
here?
wanted to go to the ancient city, but I guess it's just me.
You can A/B plot it, split the party up, split the party up. What?
I'm going to the ancient city, guys. Sorry.
You're gonna slosh through the ruins?
Yes.
All right.
Bessamel, wait, Bessamel, just come back. Why don't we all do one thing for once? But I'm just like hopping after.
Yeah, splish, splash, splosh, sploosh. So Bessemer, you don't really have any sort of rain gear or anything like that, like on your person, in your bag, in your pack, and your items.
I was checking this out earlier, and nothing really struck me. And I was looking. I'm sure I could get really crazy to try and make some sort of protective whatever with magic, but I don't know that it would be worth the energy, quite honestly. So I think I'm just like dealing with it. We're just trudging through the wet.
Yeah, it's awful. It's wet and it's hot. It's very hot, and a storm is rolling in. Like it's not a bog. It's worse than a bog because there's a lack of nature around, because there's the ruins of an ancient city. It does, to be fair, look very sublime and cool. Therefore, if your drive is for seeking out horrors, well, wonders behold. Having successfuli split up the party to pick you off one by one, I mean to increase the excitement of the adventure. Meanwhile, on the other side, DCI Beans, Facility, and Hirsute are making their way towards in the distance, rapidly approaching a series of more modern looking buildings made out of beautifully hewn panels of very dark wood. There's handsome stone and brickwork.
Wait, hold on. Did DCI Beans follow me or follow them?
Oh, that's a good question. Sorry about that. I jumped to conclusions in the water.
Not a problem. I was assuming I was following Bessemer, but then when you said it, I was like, oh, that would make more sense, because initially we are going to go one way, and Bessemer's kind of doing the rogue thing. I'm gonna roll for it.
Ooh.
I'm going with Hirsute and Fasole.
Okay, Bessemer. It's going to be a solo Bessemer joint over there.
This might cause some inter-party beef. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it could cause some inter-party beef and possibly death. We'll see what happens.
Well, we did get separated before we started losing our memories, so maybe we did this already.
It's true. What? No, you just got separated now.
No, but at the beginning of this adventure, we got separated. We were separated.
That's true. You did. There was the two of you were investigating a door, and the other two of you were fighting a guy on a thing. That's
On a bridge,
entirely
yeah.
true. Yeah.
On a
There
bridge
you
to
go.
nowhere.
On a bridge to nowhere with an invisible labyrinth that never got used, which is fine. It's a good thing we didn't spend any money on the set piece because it's invisible.
We climbed a roof.
Climbed a roof. Yeah. Okay. So DCI Beans, Facility and her suit, are slogging their way uphill. Along this rocky and gravelly sort of way. There's not really a road to speak of. Among the flooded heath, you hear the call of birds. Some big, some small, some really big. As across from you, a rook, caws its way through the sky. Towards abandoned city number 25's towers far in the distance. You start approaching this collection of buildings, and you're sort of there's a sort of point, like when you go onto a campus and like there's suddenly that moment of you're like, oh, I'm no longer in a city anymore. Somebody's in charge of this area. This is like there's manicured, there's order, there's like
The vibe shift.
the vibe shift. Well, there's certainly not order here, but there's definitely a vibe shift. There's a courtyard. It's not very well kept. There seem to be large pillars of various colors. Some of them quite wild. As you're approaching, there's bits and bobs, very confusing looking pieces of rusted metal. Some of them seem to be bending in the wind. One of them turns to look at you. Then seem unconcerned, turns away. There's a pool of water that upon approaching it, starts flickering and changing a bunch of different colors. A Corinthian pillar that's just sort of standing in the way, just kind of slowly melts as you walk by it, and as you leave, returns to its original form. You're in a sculpture garden, and this is a magic sculpture garden of this art academy of Mantabel Grot.
Are there any signs of life?
There
Other than
don't-
the sort of enigmatically moving sculptures.
Besides the enigmatically moving sculptures and the chirping of insects and the sound of birds, the croaking of frogs, the howl of a giga wolf somewhere, hopefully several miles off. The stomping of some kind of mega fauna, miles in the distance. It's actually, there doesn't seem to be any signs of student life, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe it's morning.
It's no, I don't believe it's morning. I think it's still evening. I guess it's
because we lost the night. It became.
That's right. You lost the night, so it is morning. Excuse me.
Could we look around for signs of a observer, a giant eye in the sky, anything that would be like a sun, a sun cult? Trying to put the pieces together here. Red string, things on a corkboard. What could these students have been up to? The art students doing the art to cause this wild magic.
What would have caused this wild magic? So you look around and you inspect all of the magical sculptures. DCI Beans, you're from Copia. This is all a little bit too on the nose. To be fair, it's all student work. You've seen a melting pillar before. You've seen a pool of water that changes shape. You've the metal thing turning its head. That was pretty cool. Making something animatic like that's impressive. The in terms of where something like this would be, you quickly ascertain from the layout that there's reception, there's taking a look around, you've been to a campus, there's there's apartment housing, there's shops, there's kiosks, there's various buildings for and walking halls for peripatetic, for walking around learning, all different kinds of learning styles. And there, past all of that, there does seem to be a couple of buildings that are a lot more chaotic than the other. Amidst this sort of sea of serene, regular modernism, this are some buildings that seem like modernism kind of threw up all over stuff.
It's that way because of the buildings.
Thank you.
Hey, are
Oh.
we worried about Bessemer? Just, among the three of us, like if I took a straw poll, like if someone put up their paw, like voted for a yes, is anyone else voting for a yes?
I'm way more worried about us. Bessemer is immortal.
Oh, I thought she was human, but my
I'm
eyes
not sure,
no longer what they
honestly.
were.
Do
I'm
you
not sure she's human.
do you both mean spiritually immortal, or just?
I don't know.
Fasole at this point is like, is she human, folk? I am unsure.
We all can do magic, and she can do magic.
Well,
She does razzmatazz, yeah.
razzmatazz.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like we're the hobbits and that's Gandalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
A drugged up,
I
half-naked Gandalf.
never watched wrestling, but cheers to them. I'm following you.
100%. The Cimmerillion is a wrestling federation.
And not even Gandalf the Great. That's Gandalf the fucking White, just walking around doing whatever the fuck they want. And so it's like, whatever, man.
Just, I guess, let her do her thing. Yeah, as you sort of are walking to this building, this facility, as you of course said the quiet part out loud of the, you hear a trumpet sound, a squishing trumpet sound in this sodden weather. It sounds like the sound of many boots.
Hello.
All of the many boots sort of stop short. There's a pause. And then it sounds like they are all slowly turning around, which is a weird sound because they sound like a marching band turning around. Not the instruments per se, but the fact that they need to all turn around together. And that tromping sound.
Did you make the sun?
The tromping sound is coming closer and closer. It seems to be from behind one of the buildings. Coming out from that weird modernist building where things were throwing up concepts and ideas, real chaotic kind of googie style. Coming around from around the corner seems to be a battalion of summer. It's dark green. It's got dark green regiment. They have got shields. They've got muskets. They've got swords and pistols. They're just all marching towards you.
And this is not the fucked up one-piece regiment that we saw, nor the people who paid us.
No. You guys, that was like an hour and miles ago. That was like at least 6 miles ago. So you are, no, it's totally something else. It's tromping forward.
Did you make the sun?
You hear a muttering sound, like a grumble, like a do we make the sun? 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 And it's sort of mulling this as it sort of trumps forward. Did we make the sun? Did we make the sun?
Or a big eye.
Did we make the sun or the big eye? You hear a bunch of gasps. Oh, the big eye. Oh, big eye. Oh.
It was very artistic. We thought it might have been made by art students.
Not art students make eye. Did we make eye? Did we make eye?
Did you?
Did we?
You would know if you made it. It's pretty big. You wouldn't accidentally throw paint on the canvas here.
Yeah. So they start marching forward, and it seems as they're closer. It's it's a bunch of arms and limbs, and they're sort of all kind of connected to each other.
Hang
It looks
on.
like they're all kind of melted, and there's like weird
This
flags and the
shit
flags.
again.
Hey, do y'all
it's-
remember what happened last night?
Last night. What happened last night?
Yeah, can you think back?
No.
Actually, where's your head? Where's
Can't.
your voice coming from?
That sort of seems to shake it out a little bit. There's a shaking of armor and leather as her suit barks a command at it. And truth be told, Miyazaki style, large, mummers parade, a bread and puppet parade style head pops up.
The big head.
Lets the big head and says, did yesterday? I don't remember yesterday. Was not made yesterday.
Oh, well, welcome.
Oh, God. Thank you. And it starts tromping forward.
Yeah, you should try Undeaf. It's pretty great.
Try what?
Undeaf.
Undeath? No.
Yeah, living's overrated.
Yes, agree. That why make war against King Panquar?
Oh, okay.
Life overrated.
Are these undead? Like, do
Uh,
they seem obvious or non-obvious?
DCI Beans, you are not, please roll a reason to ascertain that.
They're just
You're not
Roll
from
up
Winter.
rolling a reason.
They're just nihilists, bro.
That's a 7.
Yeah, no,
plus
they are.
one is an 8. Plus one is
They're
an 8.
yeah, they are not undead. They are not living either. They're animated things, or possibly just one thing. You've encountered an undead staircase before, but you've never, at this point, I believe, encountered just a thing itself. I suppose the House of Eves, in its personified form, would count to a certain extent. Yeah, this is a. I think with that 8th, perhaps from some old moldering book that you read in your spare time some many years ago, you would maybe know what this is. This is a regolith. It is a living call to arms. Hello.
Is it going to attack us no matter what?
Are you you don't know that based on, because it seems there's a fresh coat of paint on it. You do know that these are unbelievably dangerous.
Where's your little arms? Where's your parents?
Parent? Who made me?
Yeah.
Oh, did Big Eye make me?
Well, have you seen the Big Eye?
Oh, I see Big Eye all time. Saw it upon waking into world. See it now in my thoughts.
Is there a mouth with that eye?
Mouth with, oh, you want to meet mouth for eye? Oh yeah, mouth for eye. Points. Points. There's. Would you want mouth for eye? Oh, tricky question. Tricky mouths. You want mouths?
Yeah, it's a riddle.
What? One eye, 2 mouths. Upside down. Eye is mouth. 2 eyes, mouths. 2 mouths for eyes.
Okay. Is there like a speaker? Like
yes. Well, you want one mouth very close, right near here. I was made today. If you'd like
you want to point me toward that? Any of those hands? Can any of those hands point me toward?
They all simultaneously point like huh, all in one direction. And they point down a path towards a white brick path into the building that looks like things got thrown up by the concept of modernism.
Okay, so have a good reckoning with existence, I guess. I'm gonna see you later.
Thank you. Oh,
or whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be good if you don't want it to be good.
Are you from King Penquart?
No.
Okay. Well, bye. And it just
Goodbye.
starts. It tromps off. Trailing bits and bobs, like little pieces of rust and paint and stuff. It looks like it's been gussied up pretty recently. Tattered flags all moving around as it trumps.
All right, let's go find the mouth.
There's a mouth? I mean, do we really want to find the mouth? Now I'm a little... Okay, yeah, let's go find the mouth.
I mean, how... DCI Beans, how do you feel about that previous encounter?
I don't know what to make of this. I'm still trying to put the trees together to make a forest here. Also, I was really feeding myself, and then I was really tired, and then I got really high, and now I'm really kind of tired again. So... Not at my peak today, guys. Just saying. But those memories were sick.
You want one of us to carry you? Or...
No. That's. I mean, only if you want to pet me, I'll purr. But it's.
No, I'm just saying. If you're tired, we could one of us could carry you.
You can ride on my head.
I could never. And then I'm crawling up into her suits like undercarriage or whatever.
It's not undercarriage, the ribcage.
That's if you want to nestle in his pelvis, that's fine too. I didn't write that as a particular.
It'll just be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
if you're in a ribcage, you probably are sitting on the pelvis.
Yeah.
But like not in the pelvis. Like I was thinking in the holes where the pelvis is. You know the.
There are no bones underneath your ribs where your diaphragm is until the pelvis. There is nothing other than soft tissue to hold him up, unless he's
I'm
actually
saying
sitting
not
in
with
the
that
head.
attitude.
Hang on.
Well, unless her suit had some like anterior.
No, I'm talking about the hole where where the tailbone is. You know that hole in between. Yeah, I was thinking like in through that hole. You're not through that hole. You're
The
like
cervix?
on top of.
No, the cervix is a part of a woman's body,
and it's not a bone.
No, I thought that was the term for the two innominate bones.
Oh, you mean the
together.
coccyx?
The coccyx is like that little thing, and then there's the
Yeah.
wings, and I was thinking between the wings through that hole.
Nope, there's a pubis that and there's a foramen in there, but too small, but also the other foramen for where your femur, the neck of your femur is. You need that for your legs.
Yeah. I'm saying literally, like, you know how
just
there's
like in the pelvic bowl, like in the cradle of the pelvis.
That's what I mean.
Your suit has
I didn't think he was going through that
working
hole. I thought he
there,
was like
Yeah.
in the like more sat on top.
This is an excellent discussion of anatomy.
I love this. Y'all went into the weeds on this immediately.
Well, as you approach the building of Mana's throw up, as Hirsute is describing in detail the nature of anatomy to answer the questions that DCI Beans has about where is the optimum sort of cradling point inside his
also
own
wearing armor.
rib cage. Oh yeah, well, vest double armor.
So you can't be in the rib cage; you'd suffocate.
What's not full armor? You've got like the hole where your neck comes out because it's
or is it chainmail?
Is it like skeleton? You can breathe through chainmail, I guess, unless it's cooler chainmail.
It would just be on top of Beans' face.
This is not a.
This is not a
I wasn't trying to do a
conversation.
Weird insult or make Hirsute feel uncomfortable. So whatever Hirsute wants, really. I just meant, if you'll take me with you, I'll take the ride. That's
you could be on top of Fasol. I don't know why you guys are laughing. I didn't mean it like in a mean way.
No, just the timing. Mwah. So with a real jagged DCI Beans riding shotgun on Fasole's helmet, so you walk this white path towards this building. You see some more of those rusted spoon sculptures. You see a couple other things. You hear running sounds. You hear like a hurried sort of like shouting. You hear in the distance more of a trump, 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 trump. And as you get closer and closer inside there, you sort of see, what's it like? Have you ever seen a marionette? When it's just sort of that creepy way that it just sort of sits there, kind of lean to against the wall. As you walk in, you see sort of, it's a very nondescript hall on the inside, the same sort of dark, handsome wood. It's very regular walls. Like, it's not terribly charming, but it's kind of impressive. It's nice. But against all of those walls, up until the very high ceiling, you see a bunch of you see some suits of armor. You see some scraps of this and that, all sort of vaguely shaped humanoid. And on one side of it, you definitely see a bunch of giants. They're not. They're essentially scrap dolls made to look like giants that are leaning up against the wall, the same way that a marionette leans against something when it is not having its strings pulled. As you walk further into this room, it is becoming increasingly dense with shapes like this, and the lights are not as bright as outside.
But they're like dead.
DCI Beans has ascertained from seeing the regolith tromping by. Are they dead or are they not alive?
They're art students. Vex answered this one, turning to the camera. I light my pipe and a candle, and put the candle on Fasole's shoulder. Or let it melt into place, and then smoke the pipe and look at using the embers.
Point at the no smoking sign.
I put out the pipe with a very annoyed, loud tapping on Vasili's other shoulder.
In the flickering of that light, the pipe is out, but the candle is lit.
Yeah, you know you gotta be 30 yards away from the building to smoke. You know
well,
that, right? Like, come on, man.
Vasily nibbles on the fire a little bit.
This is the rule her suit cares about.
He's a stickler for the environment and for hygiene. Yeah. So yeah, in the flickering light has made it so much worse. The more you look down the hallway, these halls are just absolutely filled with this crap. These large dolls, effigies, looks like piles of armor. It looks to just go on and on and on. There's several closed doors. There are many closed doors around here, but this main hallway that you've walked into, this, I guess, art production facility, seems to be filled with these things. In the flickering dark, one of the largest ones, one of the biggest puppets, a square-headed, seems to be effigy of a giant, kind of sort of shakes and turns its head to look down at everybody, at the three of you in the dark. And meanwhile, I suppose, back in the sloshy, wet, weathery city of abandoned city 25. Since this time, Bessemer, you've been walking for about 20 minutes at this point without incident, possibly. You've been walking for about half an hour now. How do you feel? Because you are soaked through and through, and it's hot and it's gross. What's going on?
I hate this.
Yeah.
Should we pause before I get into anything, or is there something immediately coming up?
Well, I think as you say to yourself out loud, I hate this.
I hate everything. It's sweaty and sticky and bad and gross. And I am that much closer to taking my clothes off than I was at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. A little while ago, the other part of the party had seen a rook going towards the city. At this point, it should be mentioned that in traditional fantasy, the very large, epic, impressive birds are typically called rocks. Here they're called rooks, and that's for one specific reason. A giant bird starts to land in the area of the city. And as it's sort of cawing a screaming, screeching caw into the air, as you round a corner onto a flooded cobblestone street, Bessemer, it sort of folds itself up and it turns itself into the parapet of a tower. It is perfectly mimicking a ruined tower, blending in with the surroundings. And as it does that, it lets out a caw, and several of the towers in your immediate vicinity all seem to suddenly sprout brick wings, and all are shouting and cawing as the towers around you start screeching, as this cluster of rooks wake up, several of them staring down at you in the mire. And I think we're going to end there.
The buildings are birds!
Oh!
That explains everything.
Does it?
I don't know that it actually a real cluster rook, a real cluster cock.
Wow. Let's end it up there. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for listening and participating in the Sometimes Kingdoms Sometimes Stream summer campaign. Will wonders never cease? Perhaps more true now. Title checks out. Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for all of our actors, Ben, Jeff, Erica, and Waith. I'm Ethan Gouldini, saying good night. Good night. And remember, should you have any problems out there in the magicking world, whether large or small, preferably seasonal and weatherly, be sure to check with your local questing network office to see if adventures can be paired with your problem. And if not, why don't you consider joining the questing network? Because we need adventurers. Please, for the love of God, we need adventurers. We need so many adventures. There are so many problems. Please, if you can join the questing network. We'll see you next time.
And make sure to spay and neuter your pets.
All right, thanks. Clicking And